pull out the 2-0 against BLG, get their second series win here in Game 2. BLG versus Snake. BLG fans in the Snake Pit this time sound... They're starting to bring it back. They still sound a little subdued. Maybe they were thinking the same things we were about the draft, and they're like, oh my god, Snake are so confident they can take Urgot jungle. It's insane. We're screwed.
Ooh, I hope BLG don't try the same level 1. I don't actually think they win this.
Yeah, this time, no craziness coming out in the first level. Just everyone resetting down into the jungle. We're going to see something almost standard this time. Red buff starts for both junglers.
I have to say this draft for BLG though is very much dependent on how Meteor can do earlier on. I don't think any of his lanes are really ahead. So when we see 3 slow lanes, it typically falls down to the jungler to get good ganks off and pull his team back into the fight. We're gonna have to keep very close tabs on that.
Far cry from last game, and SOFM that time outpathed, but this time I don't think the 1v1 particularly goes his way anywhere near as much. Oh,
it's actually still fine for the Sejuani. The Sejuani with the level 6 combo can pretty much one-shot the Kha'Zix. So even though it's a tank versus a bruiser or assassin type of jungler, Sejuani, with just the sheer amount of damage she has, doesn't actually fear the matchup that much.
Gives SOFM a chance to show off his pathing when he's not under pressure. They're going to be potentially trading Scuttlecrabs here, but SOFM walking towards the mid lane, so is Meteor.
He really does need to show up here. You can see that Andy's very afraid of the Lissandra with the cleanse already. And SOFM with a cheeky level 3 on his way through mid. That was pretty smart, actually.
SOFM is so impressive in the weirdest way. Like, you don't expect that level of pathing genius, and there it is. Maestro getting the engaging. Knight goes down there, forcing the flash out of Kina.
Very much a favorable trade for Snake, and also have to remember on patch 9.2, Ignite cooldown has been reduced. So it really isn't that much of an issue to use your early Ignites and force out the flashes. Just pure profit on Snake's end.
Yeah, we saw it last game too. Pre-6, Ignite was used, I believe, twice by Kina onto Asura. This time, tables are turned. We'll see what they're able to get done with it, but against that Ezreal and Tahm Kench, that's such a safe lane.
It definitely is not something that you can punch very hard. I do believe Meteor was spotted out. Yes, we do see Andy with the pings going down. It's a really good pathing sense, hovering over towards the bot side of the map to avoid that.
SOFM, pathing god of Snake Gaming. Unfortunately, gonna be sitting on a ward for a bit here.
You jinxed it, man.
I know, I know. He might still be looking for it.
Ooh, this is double level 3, a level 4 jungle against level 2 of Kina. I'm not even sure he has his gray health.
Goes in. They pulled out the teleport so far. There goes Kina for first blood. SOFM makes it out alive. Flashes away from the glacial path, but I don't think that they needed to.
That was such a great hook by Maestro once again, just to make sure Kina had absolutely nowhere to go. They even get the teleport from Kuro, so big win for Andy as well.
Good heads up roam from him. As soon as SOFM was about halfway down, he started walking with him. Oh. I didn't know if he had enough mana. Xin Zhao real close to death. It's interesting to note, actually, that Asura is going for the Doran's ring start.
Yep, we have seen this in a number of matchups. It's a very good tool to push the enemy HP down. What you do is you max the Ardent Blaze. And let's just watch that again. Of course, Keen level 2. I do think he had the gray health. Yeah, he did have the gray health, but didn't have enough time to actually pop it. Wasn't used at all. What a great CC chain for Maestro.
Honestly, at this point, I'm thinking Maestro might start pulling some Thresh bans.
I think he should. That was great timing.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at Andy's inventory, too. He has a Fairy Charm. Is he going to go for the tier build? I mean, it's too soon to say.
It's pretty common. A lot of the times we do see laners actually just build the Fairy Charm for laning purely. They can sell it later. I think it's super cost efficient. We do see SMLZ actually do that a lot with his bot laners as well.
It's 150 gold. Pretty good investment if you can keep your mana sustain up against Lissandra.
I think with how much early pressure Snake has in this game, with all 3 lanes basically winning, just go pure armor penetration. Sorry, armor pen doesn't exist. Lethality.
Lethality build is going to do a whole lot of damage. We've already seen Knight earlier on in the season just absolutely decimate OMG with that pickup. Andy looking to do much the same. Put himself, as you said, as the Nightlight. Now, Andy got great wave clear into this matchup against Kuro, and Kuro's just repeatedly getting pushed off. If he can keep the mana sustain from the Corrupting Pot, the Biscuits, and the Fairy Charm, that's so much pressure coming out in the middle.
Here comes Asura. Can he dodge
the... Flash hook not going to land, but he just plays, and then the W kills... What?
Perfect damage calculation.
The SOFM looking for a kill here onto Kina. They're going to be able to get the stun with the E there. Kina walking away, finally to safety. Maestro going to be
They really have to thank Kuro on that play, because Kuro got the inside track there, and that dissuaded Snake from chasing any further.
That said, this bot lane is going absolutely insanely well for Snake right now.
I think Asura learned something from Kuro's previous game. It's like, oh, you can teleport, I can teleport too. I'm so far ahead of the matchup, like, I can just use it to kind of snipe out kills.
I'll show you a teleport. Now Flandre starting to get shoved back in by ADD. ADD not having the mana sustain problems he was having earlier. Oh my god, Asura. He's just going to call Jinjiao's face, forcing the Devourer out.
Oh, this is fun to watch.
Asura has Flash. I don't think he's going to go for it.
And that was so ballsy because Maestro was backing right in front of the enemy team. Like, to be fair, he was backing into brush, so there was no way that BLG's bot lane could know that. But maximum efficiency, man. You just fool the enemy team while you know your support's not even going to be there.
Weird roam up. Oh, that's super cute from Asura. He healed off the honey plant or whatever from the bottom side. Oh no, ADD. Whoa, did he get out of that?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my god, SOFM not going to be able to get the flash.
Oh, but not the hook.
God hook. Mad Life Jr. coming in here today, but still ADD gets out, and so much time and so many abilities wasted by Snake.
Well done by ADD to avoid that situation, but it also does kind of tell you how far ahead Snake is on the map. They basically sent 4 people for a failed gank, and they don't really lose anything. They don't lose any turret damage.
At best, they lose kills on Jinjiao. Like, that's about it. But now, BLG sending the jungle and support combo into the blue buff of Snake.
Should be able to walk away with this. All they have to worry about is being stuck there.
Asura gets out before the 3rd stack goes down, playing it very smart there. And now BLG are getting really weirdly aggressive over this blue buff. I don't know if they want this full commit.
Look at Kuro's position. He is spotted out by a ward right there. It's not going to be good for him if he stays.
Can I just say, first of all, I mean, that chunked, but what a clean EQ combo from Andy. It was literally instant. Love that.
Okay.
Well, he did the
I've
one.
seen better.
Okay, but still,
it was good. It was good. It was good.
It's so cool watching people be able to. Oh no, calling Asura. What are you doing, Maestro? Just short.
I really like the 1-2 punch of the in terms of the drafting. Just getting the Thresh early, kind of threatening the Kalista, potential Kalista, and then getting the Lucian for yourself as well. It's very difficult to play against that lane.
The question is, what happens if this lane doesn't become like the carry focus here for Snake? Are they still fine throughout the early and mid?
I actually think they are. Like, if you look at the champion picks between Lissandra and Sion, who does lack a lot of damage later into the game, I feel like Snake don't even really have to worry about the scaling issues. So even if they don't get like a game-winning advantage early game, I actually feel like they're sitting quite comfortably, and what they want to do right now is just make sure that they can at least leverage the bot lane before ADD is able to snipe out the top.
Oh, hook lands onto Kina there. There's the box as well. Ultimate doing a ton of damage to Asura. But Jinjiao and Kina just cannot aggress.
It's pretty much a race for the bot side and the top side right now, but we can see why this is such a favored go-to blind pick bot lane in the LCK between Ezreal and the Tahm Kench. It's actually very difficult to fully push that wave in. They do have quite decent wave clear and sustain, and they're also very, very safe. So BLG might actually still be the ones to get the first tower, even with the kills going over to Snake.
Meteor now taking a page out of SOFM's book, looking for the Rift Herald, will help them pick up the first tower if they so choose with it. It's not going to be contested here. Gets spotted out by Flandre eventually. Now they're going to hand over the blue buff and see what they can do with this. ADD, I feel like, is the lane with the most pressure if they wanted to drop it.
Yeah, ADD is one of the first ones to bring the Scion back into the meta, back in the LCK. Again, one of his favorite champions in the LPL as well, and he's been doing very, very well on it. Just constantly keeping the lane pushed in. Urgot this patch is a bit weaker to AD champions. Base armor nerf hit him quite a bit.
Now, Asura left all by his lonesome in the bottom lane. They hear the ultimate from Scion, but it's just heading top, steering himself to a little bit more CS.
Our sound effect team did such a good job with that.
That was so pretty.
Yeah. It's a beautiful Mario moment. You just line up your track, get all of those gold coins.
And much like Mario, he's kind of jumping on kids in the top lane. Flandre is getting pushed absolutely to hell and back, and now a third turret plating picked up, and ADD is not letting up the pressure. They might still get the first tower of the game here.
Oh, hook goes wide.
They just need those hooks. Once the hook misses, all engage potential is lost there for Maestro. He needs to land his entire kit to be able to pick up Kina and Jinjiao, which is why this should be such a safe lane. Oh, here comes SOFM, not able to land the ultimate once again. Jinjiao making it out alive.
Typically with this lane, what you want to do is just scale up until you have Iceborne Gauntlet. Make sure you don't take that much damage. Never mind.
Speaking of not taking that much damage, full culling to the face of Jinjiao for the third time this game.
Trying to push their advantages a little bit too hard. But what you want to do in this lane, just make sure you get your Iceborne Gauntlet. You have that AoE wave clear for the Ezreal, and then your tower is pretty much safe. So I have no ult.
He's not going to be as lucky in this case. The passive keeping him alive for now, but the bottom lane coming up as well. Oh no! The EQ misses! Not going to be able to kill Kuro on the back of it.
Yeah, that definitely was a kill if it landed.
Such a shame, and now Snake going to have to respond up here in the mid lane to the threat of the Rift Herald. Teleport coming in.
It's going to be a teleport from Asura.
First charge goes down. 3 turret planings remaining, make that 2 in short order. They will defend the push, but in the top lane, only 1 turret plating remaining. At ADD, he's going to try and steal away the red buff, I think.
So many good plays made by Kuro this time around. I feel like if Kuro didn't have the inside track 2 times towards the bot, I think BLG should have lost their bot side tower. They probably would have had a lot more pressure onto their mid lane as well. And even Snake with the early game leads feels like it's slipping away from them a little bit.
So much aggression there from Asura, and it's enough to force Jinjiao's flash, but he has so many tools to keep him safe. Once again, living from a gank. And now Snake, they had a fairly significant lead in the early game, but now top lane, losing in CS, losing in pressure. Jungle, I mean, Meteor's not dying a lot, which is already progress over last game, and mid lane, Andy has started losing his commanding lead over Kuro. Ultimate lands though, so not for much longer. Oof. Gonna be the first kill for Andy, but question is it's enough to get the pressure back in that lane.
Perfect skill shot usage is right there for Snake. You can see that SOFM did predict the side that Kuro would try to dodge in. Snipes him out right there. And first brick tower is still not taken by either team. Should go down this push, however. Flandre does not have the teleport.
Definitely going to have to be that top lane there. Andy trying to do what he can in the middle lane, but not able to find it before ADD clears out top. And this is a very scary Scion to have to deal with. He's got the Bramble Vest. He's got the completed Righteous Glory. He's so beefy.
I do like the pickup of the Bramble Vest. as well. He's looking ahead into the matchup versus the Lucian. Meteor should be spotted out.
You see him, he's safe under tower. Hook gonna go a little bit wide from Maestro there. But 4 members of Snake here in the bot lane. Abyssal Voyage comes in from BLG, second Infernal Drake. So if Snake could get this one, it looks really good for them. They're starting to bring back something. But BLG are dangerous with that first Infernal.
This early on, nobody really has a way to get out of the CC chain. So as long as Kuro doesn't throw all of his damage onto Andy and have it cleansed away, they could very well look for a pick here. Double Infernal is never something you want to go up against. I think Snake are going to force the issue.
Just poking out with Andy. He has the blue buff, so he can do this for quite a while if he so chooses. Flandre starting to rotate down.
BLG with better fundamentals, however. If you look at their laning situations, they're pretty much forcing Snake to lose tower HP. And Snake, even with what I consider a much better power spike right now, are forced to back away from the Infernal.
This is a bit of their weakness, you know, the macro. It shows the most in the late game, but especially in the early game here, it's starting to come back to bite them.
We have to look at the laning situation right here. BLG can't really afford to start this Baron with the amount of poke that Snake can't throw into this pit. So I don't think that's really an option for them. What they want to do is keep Snake pinned down while their waves are pushing out. Look at the top side, look at the bot side. Both are in favor of BLG. All they need to do is make sure Snake stay in place. However, Snake, they one-up them. They go towards the mid side, and I think they're going to take this.
Should be able to pick up that tower, give them their first of the game. A lot of pressure going on to their own top tower, though. And that would be 2 down, but it's just 2 waves. Not going to be able to take it down by itself, and everyone's still positioning around this Infernal. There's the hook onto ADD, the box to follow it up. ADD goes golden, but his team's not here to help him out. The Lantern's there. Fear Beyond Death from Flandre secures the kill onto ADD, and now that Infernal Drake's starting to look very achievable for Snake.
Yeah, it's definitely in Snake's pocket right there. Once again, ADD getting caught out very far out of position. This is it's been a common sight in these couple of series. And BLG as a team have to pay big for that. Second Infernal Drake over to AD heavy champions, bonus AD ratio heavy champions like Jace. It's not something you want to do.
I want to speak to the Jace pick a little bit more because one of my hobbies is staring at one tricks and obsessively stalking them on OPGG. Now, I think Andy has a little bit of Jace experience here because one of the things that is the sign of a really good Jace player is the ability to accurately place the acceleration gate directly at your feet so that your EQ comes out with no warning. Andy's been able to do that every single time. So looking into the later stages of the game, I'm feeling kind of confident about his ability to play Jace because he seems to have experience on it. I could be off, but that seems like a very niche mechanic to be so good at if you have no experience.
And he's going to have to land some damage down onto Jin Zhao because even though this is Jin Zhao's first Ezreal game so far, with the composition Snake have, it's actually very hard to lock him down. I think in the later stages of the team fights, we're going to see 1 or 2 scenarios where Jin Zhao is able to carry. SOFM does spot him.
Has the ultimate. There it goes. Lands down. The hook to follow. Goodbye, Kuro. Abyssal Voyage comes up. It's just the bottom lane of BLG, but against the culling, so much damage onto Meteor forces him out.
I like how patient that Lucian was. If someone should stick their head into that brush, it should be SOFM. So very good target selection right there. BLG were hoping for a lucky catch, but with that many members locked up in the top side, they're going to lose so much on the map.
It's so impressive to me here from Snake because they're showing strengths in areas that they hadn't in prior games, prior series, prior splits, which is coming through the bot lane. Maestro and Asura, I'm loving the way they're playing.
Yeah, and Snake traditionally never a good bot side team, and they're still going.
There's the engage. Maestro, the hook into box combo landed time after time. Flash will take Kina out, and Flandre with the teleport barely misses.
That was a really close situation right there. SOFM, unfortunately with Maestro, did stack their crowd control. That should have been a straight up kill. You know, I'm just nitpicking here.
You have to, though, because at a certain point, BLG's composition will start doing a little bit better. And Snake, the earlier stages, we were criticizing a little bit their ability to capitalize on the lead they had. They weren't pushing it hard enough.
It was really good defensive play from BLG.
Some good E from Flamjay. Oh, no, it's not going to keep him alive when you've got two ultimates coming at you. And
here comes ADD.
ADD's scary, man. And he's just going to get scarier. He has the Stone Plate now. He has the Righteous Glory, Bramble Vest, Ninja Tabby against an all-AD team.
That was so well timed. I love the CC stacking right there. They even took into consideration the time that Sion would need to arrive at the scene.
Okay, it was kind of filthy.
Yeah, it was.
I'll
it
give
was
it
so good. It was like a 50-foot shot or something like that. Full court alley-oop.
Now Kina resetting the vision. Doesn't want to get picked off another time. Asura now has completed 2 items, has the Ninja Tabby as well, a little bit defensively minded. And between him and Andy, that's 2 damage threats with their 2 big power spikes. So are we going to see them fight with it, or is there something else they're waiting for?
Well, they're going to take as many fights as they can possibly get. The problem is that they don't necessarily have the best engage to wipe the floor with BLG. The target that I'm really looking for is Jin Zhao. I think once Jin Zhao does get to the later phase of the game, or he can get his Mercurial Scimitar, he does have a window to do massive amounts of damage. He's already going for the double tier build.
Oh my god. Asura is on point on threatening Jin Zhao.
But first, he does have to survive that
Yeah.
and make it to the later phases.
Granted, he has an E, he has a flash, he is an Ezreal with a Tahm Kench, but when you're being threatened that quickly, that often, eventually it's going to be successful.
BLG don't have the easiest target selection either. It's going to be very difficult for them to pump all their damage on one target. They're pretty much, even though the gold is close, they're actually much further behind than it would indicate. That 17% extra AD is going to help out so much for Snake's composition, and it's going to alleviate a lot of their weaknesses as a full AD team.
Mitigate the problems of the armor, just stack more AD. That's the problem. You have an all AD team, just get more AD. It's that easy. Now, Andy shoving out the wave. They're just controlling around. They know that Baron is their weak spot, so they're starting to ward it up. They're being very defensive about it, and this is an adaptation I'm pretty happy about.
Are we going to see a first Baron taken by Snake? It's a rare sight indeed.
Statistically unlikely, but my heart says yes.
I think it probably should happen this game. BLG, you have to compliment them. They've been doing a very good job keeping in the game with how far behind their lanes actually were.
Now the leads kind of even out gold-wise. Towers is just one advantage for Snake. The real difference is just in those dragons. And yeah, the Infernals are going to matter now, but the rest might not matter until it gets to that Elder, until it gets into the later stages of the game where Snake traditionally struggle anyways. BLG's just going to try and clear out some vision here, clear out the wards, keep themselves safe, because they know what it's like to take a Baron. They know the steps required. They've done it time and time again. They don't want Snake to have the opportunity.
I think Snake might have to venture out a little bit further. They are lacking a bit of engage tools. I feel like that's why they're so timid on the map.
Their vision as well. It's just sitting there in the river, essentially. Nowhere else. They don't have any defensive wards. They don't really have any offensive. They're just like, okay, if they walk on water, we'll see them.
I actually don't mind if they just start doing Baron baits. I feel like that's a perfectly reasonable strategy to start attempting. And there they go.
Do they have to worry about the BDD engage, or ADD rather, engage though? Because he's a very beefy tank, lots of armor, lots of disruption, with an ultimate that can absolutely mess with you.
I think if you keep SOFM in the right positions, maybe it's not as bad of a thing to worry about. But well played by BLG here. They do get their trinkets down, and they're pretty certain at this point Snake is definitely not starting the Baron. Keeping good eyes on that.
When does the risk start to come in for Snake then? Because they're Baron baiting now, sure, but their composition has all AD, lethality mid laner that doesn't typically scale well into the late game
Nope.
compared to something like the Ezreal. Is it just waiting for the double tier stack on Ezreal?
You mean for BLG? Yeah, definitely. Like BLG, the late game win condition is going to be down on Jin Zhao.
Hopefully he'll be able to put out enough damage. And Snake, once again, pinging onto the Baron. This time, though, they might be taking it. BLG know this is happening.
Do see ADD with the teleport ready.
Kuro, Glacial Path coming out. Flandre has popped Righteous Glory and Ghost at this point. Successful-ish bait. Forced out the flash from BLG's mid laner, but didn't get a whole lot else out of it.
I like how SOFM held on to his ultimate, the main engage tool of this comp. Flandre looks like he's too far ahead.
Might be able to bait them into an engage. Ultimate gets Flandre really low. Maestro as well getting poked out on the backline. Jin Zhao's damage looks like it's coming online. Meteor looks for a flank.
Good slow.
Snake, all 5 members, good box there from Maestro. If Meteor comes in for a flank, he's almost certainly dead. So ADD needs to be the one to engage here. He's going to be able to. Maestro goes golden, keeps his team alive, does die for it, however, and now ADD needs to be saved by Kina. A good devour. Snake only lose 1 from disastrous positioning.
Yeah, Flandre really forcing the issue onto the mid lane. He just passed over a control ward, but said, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to take my route. It looked like a bait for just a moment. He was putting a little bit too much faith into Maestro getting him out of the situation, but this is still a very tense fight coming in. Kuro does have the Glacial Prison.
Andy getting ulted now. He's so low, as is Asura. Abyssal Voyage comes in from Kina and Jin Zhao. SOFM there to defend on the flank. BLG forced off Baron.
Whew. And neither side are able to capitalize on the ground that they've taken so far. Let's watch that fight again. You can see Flandre just walking into 4 people, not a care in the world. Maestro does have to bail Flandre out of that situation. Iceborne Gauntlet does go down, slow procs. They also get hit by Meteor on the side. I like how Meteor does not go straight in, and just look at the HP bars of Snake. The mistakes and the funneling that they had to go through really allowed Jin Zhao to deal maximum damage. It's pretty much a 5-man Arcane Barrage right there. A True Shot Barrage, excuse me.
Jin Zhao now has both tier items completed, if not fully stacked. The Archangel's going to be taking a little bit longer, but already putting out a ton of damage, ton of defensive stats, and now maybe Asura can't find those same engages. Maybe if Andy gets the poke down, those EQs don't matter as much, and these fights are starting to look scary for Snake. This might also be the first Drake they lose.
Nobody really there to contend with it. Snake still on the let's find a catch path. I like that positioning from SOFM. If you could see that, it was in a position where the minion wave in the mid lane could not. It was right outside the vision range of the mid lane minions. Quite impressive to know your spots like that. I really like how our observer pointed that out.
SOFM has been playing absolutely out of his mind so far this series, showing a little bit of good tech knowledge. We're just going to try and get some poke out from the side. Their strategy of baiting the Baron so far has not been working. They get an engage onto ADD, but the Devourer keeps him safe. Asura goes forward, going to force out a flash.
Should be considered a victory for Snake right there. Just ultimates for flashes.
But now Snake don't have the opportunity to get the bait. They can't even access the Baron pit at the moment. BLG going to clear that one out.
Now I think Snake is going to have a couple quiet minutes right here. Just wait until their ultimates recharge.
BLG, don't want them to get that opportunity though. Here on the flank, there's the ultimate coming in from ADD. Maestro prevents the engage from the side, but will die for it. Kuro not able to get a whole lot just yet, but Maestro once again sacrificing himself for the team. They need to get something else off this before they lose the Baron.
Really well played by ADD, forcing the issue, making sure that Maestro was caught off guard while he was trying to ward up the Raptors. And they still have so much poke damage. ADD can stay in the front as well. That's the second True Shot Barrage that Jin Zhao has used in this team fight.
That one went a little bit wide though, so Snake's health bars are very happy for that fact. But Kuro taking almost no damage from the EQ combo of Andy there. We already mentioned that Jin Zhao is fairly tanky as far as Ezreals go. is starting to look incredibly bad for Snake.
And out of a 2 to 5 kill deficit, BLG find a way, drag out the game, and get a 5K gold lead.
This time, Snake don't have the opportunity to wait for the scaling up last time, because they had the Kaisa, which scales so well as a hyper carry, but Lucian doesn't really have that luxury. His specialty is the early game, and now we've reached 30 minutes. He's 2-0-2, sure, but Jin Zhao hasn't really been punished. Kuro hasn't really been threatened, and ADD, look how beefy he is. Thornmail, Righteous Glory, Gargoyle Stoneplate, he's working on an Aegis of the Legion.
It's pretty much untouchable at this point. There's no amount of damage and armor pen that really is going to take ADD down. So he can play super aggressive with these engages. All he needs to do is find the right angle and force the issue. If he's able to get among Snake and make sure they can't weasel themselves out of the fight.
Oh, SOFM going for the engage once again on ADD. I really don't
Not
like that
intended target.
decision. And now they get a return ultimate here. Snake trying to kite it out as best they can, but Maestro once again the sacrificial lamb. This time BLG, they've got the damage, they've got the tankiness. Can either go for a fight or maybe look towards Baron.
That was 5 seconds of damage dealing, and they weren't even able to take off 1k HP from ADD. That's how tanky this composition is. SOFM, he did try to get a snipe onto, I believe he was trying to get it on Kina, but did not happen right there. ADD with the perfect block.
ADD this game, in stark contrast to last one, is doing a good job with his positioning. You know, he's not been caught out except the once, and every time he's caught out now, I mean, this is kind of the perfect pick for ADD into this composition. It's like, yeah, this time you can get caught out, because what can they do?
I want him to act a fool on this.
Because
look at that shield. What do you even do against that?
Pray.
I want to see his armor level right now.
Probably approaching 250, 300, somewhere around there. I don't remember my exact armor values, but he's definitely...
Observer's showing us 278, so
That's
overall,
close.
yeah, I think it's about 400 armor with his Gargoyle Stoneplate on.
Now he's got the locket. It's going to be providing even more defensive capabilities for his team. And Snake need to figure out something to do here. I don't know if they just want to go for the Baron bait again, but they might instead go for the desperation take.
I think they have to. In fact, I felt like they should have started this play a little bit sooner.
Oh, you can hear now ADD's ultimate coming in. Won't land as the knockup on anyone. And now Snaker starting to kite it out. ADD chunked down. Gargoyle Stoneplate pop. The box going to keep him at bay for now, but so much damage. All the knockups on the Snake. And Asura still alive in the backline, but a double kill for Jin Zhao. Andy needs to get out of here while he can. Flashes away on the side. Ultimate coming in there from Kina. Will force Andy out, but the rest of Snake are between a rock and a hard place. Jin Zhao still full health. Meteor half. Kuro incredibly beefy. Asura needs to make the miracle play here if he wants to find anything, and instead SOFM and he both get taken out. Baron's still alive, and five rather, of BLG still up.
Snake felt so helpless in that fight right there. That was so many seconds of damage that ADD was able to tank, and he walked away with still well over 1,000 HP. I really have to question the engage there by Maestro. He felt like maybe ADD was out of position. Maybe they could take him out before anything could happen to the rest of the team. But them just staying in that position allowed a perfect opportunity for Jin Zhao to unload all of his damage. However, Snake might be finding their way back into the game.
Oh, here comes the teleport on the side as well.
Can they get it?
Oh, no! Meteor picks it up, and now not able to get the triple Infernal. Everything has gone wrong for Snake. They formerly had it even, or at least a lead for the rest of the game. They're now down 9,000 gold. 2 dragons to 3, still in their advantage, but this fight was so disastrous.
I just want to see the damage taken charts after this team fight. Look at that. That's 4 members of Snake. Make it 5 right now, all trying to focus down ADD. They realize, wait a minute, it's not going to happen. And I really like how Meteor played that fight. Goes in from the backside, makes sure that there's no escape for the Snake players.
Now BLG, Baron buff on all 5 members still. Mid lane and bot lane being pushed simultaneously. And I don't know what Snake can do to stop this at this point.
They need another Maestro hook. That's pretty much the only condition. Fishing for it.
What
Get
happened?
ADD.
He's a speedy potato. Oh my god! Jin Zhao with so much damage, able to burst down SOFM, and now one of their primary engaged tools taken out. Snake lose one inhibitor. Baron still up for 2 minutes. The second inhibitor starting to go down, as is the Nexus Tower. 2 Baroned up cannon minions poking out as best they can. Jin Zhao half health, but it doesn't seem to matter. ADD goes in with the ultimate. There goes Flandre. He's taken out. And Maestro is all he can do to keep them out of the base. And BLG tie it up 1-1 in the series.
I need to see the damage taken charts right here. ADD, he was close to 1k health in 3 separate team fights. No one was able to take him down. And Smiles all